While 2020 has been quite an action-packed year, the same cannot be said for MLB. While other leagues gear up for their summer return, MLB players and owners are currently stuck in the longest game of Pong we have ever seen. Regardless if there is a season or not, there is something going on under all the negotiation stuff that hasn't been receiving nearly as much attention as it should, and this thing is something that will not only change MLB, but the entire baseball landscape forever. So what's going on, everybody? It's Dawson, and today we are going to be taking a look at what exactly that thing is, for better or for worse, and how it will affect the future of MLB in the baseball landscape. Let's go ahead and get started. Just a few days ago, we saw an MLB draft like we have never seen before. Usually known for being a 40-round crapshoot shown on MLB Network each year, this time we got a 5-round concise draft nationally televised on ESPN. While this was a step in the right direction, I mean the draft should be on a big network like ESPN or even Fox every year, a lot of people just sort of assumed that this draft would be a one-off, with the original reason the draft got shortened being of course because of the pandemic. However, that is not the case. Back in late March, it was reported by Jeff Passan that MLB and the MLBPA had reached an agreement that allowed MLB to shorten the draft to only 5 rounds if they want to in 2020. Players in exchange will receive full service time even if there is no 2020 season. But one thing that was snuck into the agreement that went relatively unnoticed was that MLB can also shorten the 2021 draft to 20 rounds as well. So why would MLB do this, and why does this matter? While we do not know for certain what effects the pandemic will have on the 2021 season and beyond, the move to shorten the 2021 draft was not only because of the pandemic. Last October, MLB and Minor League Baseball began to work on their negotiations for the new Professional Baseball Agreement, or PBA for short. MLB proposed a plan that would completely eliminate 42 minor league baseball teams across America, which is a little over 1/4 of minor league baseball. Again, MLB had this PBA plan already in motion before the pandemic even happened. But none of this should really come as a surprise. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred has criticized minor league baseball multiple times, and last December he even threatened to walk away from minor league baseball entirely. With this year's draft being only 5 rounds and next year's probably being only 20, it is now almost a certainty that MLB's proposed PBA will go through. This proposal would shake minor league baseball and player development entirely. Each major league team would be limited to 4 minor league affiliates, meaning that low A, high A, double A, and triple A would be the only remaining levels. Players coming out of the draft would then be expected to head to either low A or to train at their team's spring training facility. As for teams that are cut, MLB has proposed the idea of a Dream League, which would sort of be like Indie Ball now, just a little more organized. However, the way things look, it doesn't really seem financially feasible. After the game of Pong is finished between the MLB players and owners, MLB will continue their negotiations with minor league baseball. According to a report from Baseball America, the new PBA discussions include cutting 42 minor league teams, which would bring the total down to 120, restructuring of the leagues to improve travel, a new process for major league teams to find their affiliations, and the possibility of MLB taking over minor league baseball operations entirely. MLB believes that by taking over the minor league system, they could generate significantly more revenue for teams with their marketing ability, and that if they take over, they will be able to work on some of the issues that have frustrated major league teams for decades. But okay, let's be real. Just because MLB thinks that they can market minor league teams better and fix some of their own inconveniences, those are not the only reasons that MLB wants to take control of their player development system. There are multiple motives for MLB's current plan, and this is baseball, so most of this has to do with money, because of course it does. The biggest one without question is the increased pressure for minor leaguers to be paid a wage that allows them to live. While most top prospects are given a solid salary, that's not everybody. I mean, some minor leaguers only make around $8,000 a year. With lawsuits popping up every once in a while of minor leaguers wanting some more, sir, it can be easily seen why MLB would want to get rid of the lower level minors. Instead of paying them minimum wage, they will just get rid of their teams and release them instead. It has also been speculated that MLB owners believe that there are too many minor league players and affiliates, which regardless of how you feel about that, this deal will be an easy way for owners to cut costs and not have to worry about other teams gaining an advantage. Oh wait, I almost forgot about this one. One of the bigger reasons that MLB has argued to support their minor league contraction plan is they say minor league facilities are not up to par with their standards agreed to in the current PBA, and that MILB refuses to fix these issues and have done nothing to improve their facilities. I just want you guys to know that whoever says the facilities are not up to par, whether it's one of the owners, Manfred, whoever, they are lying to you. Not only has MILB President Pat O'Connor gone on record saying that the minor leagues will work with MLB to improve the facilities even further to MLB's liking, but MILB officials have proved multiple times that their facilities meet or even sometimes exceed MLB's current set of standards. But here's the thing. No matter how many times minor leagues prove MLB wrong, there's not really anything that MILB can really do about a fourth of their league being deleted. MLB holds all the cards here. Without an MLB agreement, there is no minor league baseball. As much as I believe the minors are undervalued as a part of the baseball landscape, I mean, without my local minor league team, I don't even know if I would be a baseball fan at all. There is going to be 42 different communities across the nation losing their baseball teams, and as much as I and many others disagree with it, there's nothing anybody can do about it. And since there probably won't be a minor league season this year, all of those teams have already played their last game. As saddening as the impending doom of 42 minor league franchises is, I'd like to spend the rest of this video discussing what an MLB-run minor league development system would look like. I really see two different ways MLB can go with this, and the second one is a lot more drastic. Path 1, MLB keeps the current 4-level system. As mentioned earlier, we do know that MLB would do some restructuring geographically regarding the minors, but as far as player development goes, things would stay relatively the same with 4 levels. While the draft would stay at around 20 rounds, one thing to look out for would be salary increases for players. Players in the minors will continue to be paid by MLB franchises, and if MLB did run the minors, it wouldn't be the best look if some minor leaguers were still making $8,000 a year. It could also be possible that under MLB run MILB that minors players will finally unionize with pressure from the public. With the minors union, it would also be a lot easier for MLB to market minor league prospects, assuming player likeness is included in a union deal. However, if players were to unionize and or lower level minors received higher salaries, the gains for owners after cutting the 42 minor league franchises would be strongly diminished, which is why I believe the second path is where MLB is headed. Path number 2, decrease the gap between college and the majors and cut more minor league teams. Alright, this is where things start to get drastic. This plan would take some time and it wouldn't happen all in one wave. So, we know that baseball is the pure opposite when it comes to player development compared to the NBA and the NFL. In the NBA and the NFL, you'll have a highly touted player get drafted in the first round and make an immediate impact on your team. In the MLB, you'll have a player that you haven't heard of until maybe the day of the draft get picked by your team, and maybe you will see him in the majors in 3 years if you are lucky. It sucks, and we all know that. Speaking of the draft, over the last 5 years or so, there has been a strong increase in players being drafted out of college instead of high school in the higher rounds. This has forced a lot of top high school prospects to go to college to continue to develop to get picked in a higher round later on. Besides, college players are usually able to develop quicker than most high school players are, and that leads to those picks holding more value. Over time, this path would mean the removal of now lower level minors like single A, high A, and maybe even double A depending how far MLB would like to take this. It would have to be a relatively slow removal, starting with low A ball and then continuing to move up as the years go on, allowing drafted players to try and adjust. This, in theory, would be to try to bridge the gap between college players and the major leagues, but why would MLB want to do that exactly? MLB owners are currently on board for paying the salaries of all their minor league players, and most owners see the many levels of the minors now as an inconvenience. If owners can get their young talent up to the majors faster on the cheap, and not have to pay the salaries for the 90% of players in their organization that will never make it to the majors anyway, I would bet that is something that they are willing to do. I'm not sure that they would ever go this far, but if the gap was bridged between college and MLB, the only levels left could be college, AAA, and MLB. In practice, it would sort of be like how the NFL uses college as a free development league. This, of course, would mean the deletion of more minor league teams and baseball from communities that could really use it. But again, if this is something that MLB would like to make happen, they will make it happen. As sad as it seems, I guess there would be at least one positive for this. If the gap between college and the majors was diminished, then maybe people would actually start to give college baseball the attention it deserves, and young stars could be made before they play a game of professional baseball at any level. Look, I know something like this does seem a little out there, but so has some of my own speculation in the past. As much as I personally don't like this is what makes the most sense for owners, and this is baseball, so the owners usually get what they want. Whichever path the owners decide to take, there will continue to be changes in the minors development system as we continue on in the 2020s. After the contraction, the steps that MLB takes will change the future of how players develop before we see them in the big leagues. This could result in an influx of younger, lower paid talent that teams will value at a higher scale. And that influx of young talent opens up tons of possibilities of how teams will want to build up their squads for the future. Thank you all for watching, and let me know in the comments section below which path you think MLB should take when they take control of the minors. And if you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm not sure which video will be released next yet. We'll see what happens with the whole Yankees and MLB PA negotiations thing. But thanks again, everybody, and I will see you all soon.
You got some, I wanna get to know you. You got some, I wanna kiss and hold you. Take my love, I wanna give it all to you.